Let's take a look at the third building of Merchants Row called Lutz. Here it is up on the layout now. I just finished it. It took a couple of weeks to do because it was cold here in the train room. And then finally it warmed up a little bit to where I could start working on it again. It started getting into the 80s, so I started working on it again. So we went through 2 workbench Wednesdays to get to that point, but here it is. The first and second floor gets spliced together like so, and I have the MDF splice plates. So once I sand all this thing down, I'll glue everything together. One thing I noticed after I glued these bracings on, say the walls go together, the top and the bottom floor go together with this MDF bracing glued to the back. Well, I noticed there was not enough room on this short piece because this thing is trapezoidal. So I'm cutting this thing through. I'm almost cut all the way through, but I have to cut this off so we can get the bracing on here. Be aware of that. Cut it before you put it on there. Okay, here it is after I cut the piece off. Be careful. This is very thin stuff, so I'm going to stain this just like I stained the other 2 buildings. The only thing on this one here, I'm going to stain it first because this one gets a sign on the wall. So this wall gets a sign on it. So we'll be staining it after I put all the bracing on. Well, I'm over here. I'm cutting a bracing, and the one bracing for the garage door on the one side, it takes 1/16 of an inch on the top and on the sides, and on the bottom it's supposed to take a 3/32. Well, they're supposed to put a 3/32 square in here, but unfortunately they put a 1/32 square in there instead of a 3/32 square. So I'm going to have to see if I could find me a 3/32 in my stash from Hobby Lobby. Well, luckily I had a 3/32 one in there, so I got that out for the bottom of the garage door. It's always good to get stuff from Hobby Lobby. You never know when you're going to need it. Alright, all the bracing is in. The corner posts are in. I got the 1/16 of an inch and 3/32 on the bottom here. Let's do a recap of what I've done so far. It's been 11 days since I did the last recording on this, and I've been on here doing stuff, but I haven't recorded anything. So let me show you what I have right here. Okay, I did stain all the panels, and I painted the billboard stuff, and I cut out for the signs. This is the sign for the billboard, boom, and here's the sign for the wall, although they're bigger than this is wider than the wall, and I think, let's see, that just barely fits. But I think, like I said on a workbench Wednesday, you got these slots in here, so I might get a piece of cardstock or something and put it in there so you don't see these little lines right here whenever I glue this in there. So it's been cold in here. We just had the first 2 days where it actually got back up into the 70s outside, so it's starting to warm back up in here. I glued the 4 pieces together right here, and what I had to do on the corner bracing is to shave them down a little bit because you could see this is not square. So in order for the corner posts to look realistic and not stick out too far, I had to shave them down a little bit. So just be aware of that. When assembling the upper stairs, make sure you lay it on its side so none of the treads are hanging over on this side, because this side's up against the wall. Instead of using a perfectly good door where you're not going to be able to see it, because they supply a door right here, the peel and stick, to go in that little slot right there. Okay, but what I did was I took the little cutout from the MDF on the bottom and I glued it inside here, because you're not really going to be able to see the door in there anyway. I bought a stack of these. They look like the size of a Post-it note, but they're a little bit heavier, almost like 80-pound paper, and I used that. I cut out a piece for the back of the billboard right here, just to stiffen it up a little bit, and you wouldn't see the little lines in there from the slots from the from the backing. So got that done. There's one small window on the bump out. They give you two. I'm going to save them for another time. I had these already primed, so I went over it again with the khaki, and also did the roof, this roof here and this roof here. One caution on that, the lines go this way, so don't put the tar paper on in the way the lines are. You put it on this way, because that's the way the roof sits on there. So just a few things to let you know about. We're getting ready for Workbench Wednesday. This is Wednesday afternoon. Down really nice right there. And I'm recording this now, so I'll bring it in real close. I'll zoom in on it on the recording, and so you'll be able to see it really, really good on that. So let me see if this fits now. Okay, so there we go. There it is right there. It fits in the little slots now. Okay, so we're just going to hold that there for right now. Okay, we'll stick that right there. Now there's a window that goes in the back here. We'll work on that one right there. And these two-piece windows are peel and stick. So all I have to do is take this backing off and put the acetate on it. I'll do it that way. I'll leave the paper on it. And take the paper off once I get everything glued on there. There's that part. Okay, that worked a little bit better. There we go. Got that in there. Since this stairwell hangs out from the building and it's real delicate right there, I made a base for this, put a cutout in here, and I put transfer tape on here so I could set it on here like so, and then I could put the gravel in without damaging anything on there afterwards. And if you see over here on the side, I use canopy glue for the windows on here, mainly because the acetate that was cut wasn't cut for the right size. I'm applying glue, tacky glue, to the edges of the window opening, just a little bit. And on the small window right here, I use the styrene cement to put them together. This stuff right here, Mr. Cement Deluxe. There we go. Available at Hobby Lobby. Okay, there we go. Right there. And and I'll show it to you. There's a little piece that sticks out to hit stairs. Just a little piece right there on the edge. I'm going to put it right here. And let it sit like that for a while. As you can see by the graphic, the second Workbench Wednesday come and gone. This is Thursday evening. I'm going to cut out two of these lamps right here that I already painted. And I use my pin vise. I'm not sure what size this is, but it's pretty close to the size of that. I put it in the pin vise probably several years ago, doing the same thing, but you just go in there, put a hole in it. You don't have to get the expensive super glue. They all have the same stuff in it. And why I'm putting it over there is because I'm just going to dip the tip of the lamp in there and hold it like that. Dip it in the glue, and as it goes in, the glue will hit the wood and you'll be good to go. Okay, there's that one. I touched the Aleene's tacky glue on the bottom of the vertical supports and put the feet on there. And while it's still not very hard, we're going to set it in place so it'll level out. As you can see, this one is moving a little bit. So we'll just apply some glue on the bottom of here. And set it up on the roof like so. And we'll just hold it in place just for a little bit. And from one of the other videos, you might remember that this billboard was a little warped, and it still is a little warped. I had it on, I weighed it down with you can see it right there. I weighed it down, laid it flat, and put the 1, 2, 3 block on top of it, but it was worse than that. But we'll be satisfied with this right here. I'll put a little bit of black around it to make it look like tar around the feet, and then we'll go over on the layout and then pull the tape up and put the scenic material up there in place on the layout. Alright, billboard in place. I got the stove pipe in the back, and I got the base on. I'm ready to go on, and I put a person over here. Before I put some of the coarse soil on there, I took some of the moss, small pieces of moss, and scattered it in different parts around the building. But here's where that's going to sit, and the other two buildings are going to sit right here.